Today is butchering day. We're gonna try and get as many chickens as we can butchered. There are still some small ones, so we'll leave those ones behind so that they can continue to grow. But the bigger ones, we're just kind of paying to feed them, so it's just time to get them dealt with so that we're not spending so much money on feed. So this video, probably gonna be a little bit graphic. If that's not your thing, probably don't want to watch this video, but we did get a lot of requests last year because we did talk about our meat birds a fair bit, and then we didn't end up making a video about the butchering because it's kind of hard. It's kind of a dirty job, but I've got the GoPro today, so I'm just going to try and film as much as I can and kind of show you how we do it. So we're just kind of getting everything ready, and the first step is I've cleaned out the bathtub and I've filled it with cool water. I've got a bunch of ice that I will put in later on as well, but basically once we finish the bird, we will put it into this water, and you have to let the birds rest for 24 to 48 hours so that the rigor mortis goes away and you have more tender meat. We did actually freeze our birds right away one year in the beginning when we were learning, and the meat wasn't very good. You can let the birds rest after they've thawed out and the rigor mortis will go away, but it took us a little while to learn that as well. Got clean water in here, so we'll put some birds in there. We can also put them in the fridge, in their bags, but the ones that I want to part out, I want to have them in here because I don't want to be using up my shrink wrap bags. You can use coolers or totes, but then you end up having to buy a lot of those kind of things, and that adds up. So the person that taught us how to butcher the chickens used her bathtub, so that's what we're gonna do. And then we have a selection of knives. We honestly just use our kitchen knives. I would like to get some proper butchering knives because these ones kind of dull out pretty fast, but Greg gets the big knife for killing the birds because these ones are easier for me to handle when I'm cutting out the guts and stuff. And then we keep our sharpener nearby, even though this thing is a piece of garbage. And a cutting board, just in case I want to use the cutting board for the chickens, but I might just use the table so that this isn't sliding around. But very simple. And then the other thing I want to get ready is a bucket of warm soapy water, because when you're dealing with kind of the fats and stuff on the chicken, it's nice to clean your hands and clean your knife off often so that things aren't getting too slippery. So we just have a cone on the tree with a bucket, and this is where Greg will, he likes to cut the throat to kill the bird, and then the blood just drains out. There's a number of different methods. We've heard of some people just holding the chicken up so that the head is resting on the surface, and then they take an axe, but we tried that and it did not go well. This is the way that we learned from a couple who's been doing it for a very long time, and we find it's the best method. Might be what Joel Salatin uses, I can't remember, but there's videos on YouTube about how to do that. And then, so basically, Greg will kill the bird, let the blood drain out, and then he will bring it over to this big pot, and you put the bird in until the feathers pull out easily. And then once that is happening, we will bring the bird to the table, pluck it, pull all the feathers out, and then I will start to take out the organs. We don't really like to save the organs because it's still kind of a baby about butchering chickens. I don't really like to eat the skin anymore. Or any of the organs because we're dealing with all of them, so I kind of just like the chicken meat now. Once all the organs are out, you give it a good rinse, and then we'll take it inside
I'm in that thing. Okay.
They don't feel like they have much meat on them, hey?
I guess we'll find out. We're butchering today. Out. Hold that for a second.
It always feels a bit yucky for the first few chickens. We haven't done this in a year, so it's just a little bit sad, a little bit hard. Feels a bit gross, but so the pot needs to be between 130 and 170 Fahrenheit. We had a little too hot, so we've turned off the burner, put in a little bit of cold water, and then the best thing is to just have a thermometer on you so that you can keep checking it. We find we have cooked the birds a little bit in the past, so you just want to check it all the time because you don't want to cook the bird before it's time to be eating it.
You got me a stick to stir, or even that little one just for now. It's important that you saturate the feathers with water so that the base of the feathers get loose and nice and wet. And then I just pull the wing feathers. Perfect. That's perfect. Do you have like a bin for chicken? A clean bin?
No, we don't have anything. So I found, or we were taught actually, to keep the feathers in your hand, and that really helps pull the other ones out. It almost kind of grabs them.
Terry at it. Terry's a pro. Do you want me to sharpen the knife again?
No, I haven't even used it yet. So on the back, just above on its little tail, there is the oil gland, so you want to get that out right away. And you kind of pinch and just go under, because it can taste gross if you get it on the meat. I hit it a little bit.
Did you squeeze it out first?
No. Okay, I will try to walk you through the butchering. It's a little bit difficult to get the close-ups, but we'll see how this turns out. So, I'm going to take the head off first. You kind of want to cut all the way around. And then you kind of just snap it. Ugh, that was eating a feather. That's disgusting. And then the feet, we just want to cut at the knee. You can kind of feel there's like a space where the joint is. I kind of pull back as I'm cutting. And then it snaps out. This knife is getting dull. So then we want to get the oil gland. What? Oh. Then what I do is I open up the skin on the neck then what you want to remove is the crop and the esophagus. So that's the esophagus, and then right here is the crop. So you kind of scrape along the body of the chicken, I guess, and pull a lot. So then once I've got it away from the body, you want to try to go in as far down into the kind of like chest cavity, I guess, to cut them out. You can go under as well. And then pull. Then you want to go towards the stomach area and pinch it. You want to be careful here because we want to get the vent and the intestines out without getting any poop on the bird. So once you kind of get in, you can pull it open and cut it a bit wider for your hand. And then what you're going to want to do is find the intestines where it's coming towards the vent and just get an idea of where that is so that you can start to cut around. So then I'm going to cut down on either side. So you can see there's poop in there. This is a fatty bird.
What's that?
Fatty.
Is it a fatty bird?
Yeah. She's breaking stuff. See, the liver is looking good. This is the gizzard, at which you can cut open along here, clean it out, and then some people like to eat them. I'm a little grossed out by that. And the other thing that you want to watch out for is I think it's the gallbladder off the liver. It's basically this green sac. You do not want to break that open. If you like to eat the liver, you can carefully cut that out. But I think we'll just give that to the dogs or the pigs or the chickens.
Forgot about the pigs though. Yes.
Yeah. Then we've got the heart, which you can peel all of this off and save as well. Little testy. I don't know what that is. And the lungs are usually way in there so that you don't really get them out. And then you also want to stick your finger down the chest cavity and you'll feel a hard thing. That is the rest of the esophagus. So I kind of push it down and then pull it out from below. And that's it. You better go get another one.
Me? Try to get the majority of the gross stuff that you find gross.
So there's fat in here that I'm just gonna leave in for when we cook it. Give it a good rinse. Well, we got 13 birds done. It's probably getting close to noon, I think. And we are tired. The wasps are getting pretty bad, so we had to stop. Greg has taken the guts up to the pigs, and dogs are chewing on a foot each. And we got the birds in the bathtub. That's it for today. We will hopefully have some help on the weekend when we do the rest. Would be really nice to just get everything done, but we'll see how that plays out. It's all gone? Is it yummy? You licking your lips, Newts?
That was the grossest thing I've done today. Raw chicken bong toke.
We are packaging up the chicken now. It's been sitting in the bathtub for 24 hours. A little more than 24 hours with ice. But we're out of ice. We got to get these birds dealt with. I would say they could probably use a little bit longer of resting, but we're just going to package them up. So I've got 4 birds in the fridge already in the shrink bags, which we will do later on. And those were a couple hens that we did. And we don't have a whole lot of the, what's that stuff called? The food saver
vacuum seal packs.
Vacuum seal packs. So yeah, we're just parting everything out. Got some in the sink kind of drying off. Got skin and little chunks, and then Greg was just sucking air out of a Ziploc for the carcass, which we will save for soup. We don't really try to cut every bit of meat off of the carcass because we want to have a lot of meat in our soups. So we have quite a few carcasses in there right now.
The lazier we are, the better the soup is because it's the right amount of meat that's in the soup. So it works out really well.
Yeah.
Time saving too.
So figured we would just show you how we part out the bird in case you're wanting to learn. And we are not experts or very experienced at this. This is just how we do it. It's a bit of a hack job, but that's just how we are. So first we'll do the wings, and you can kind of pull them out a bit and just kind of slice through. You want to go through the joint, so I'm faster than you.
Not for long. I was just struggling with that one.
So now we're gonna do the legs. You can either do the breast or the legs. It's Doesn't matter which way you do it, it's pretty awkward and floppy. So what I do is I put my hand on the breast and on the leg to pull them apart. And then you want to cut the skin down the middle. You'll see there's kind of like a gap. You can pop the joint.
I do it a little bit different, but oh, no, never mind. We're doing the same thing.
I've seen people cut the thigh off, but we just leave it as one, and then you have a huge hunk of meat for dinner. Leftovers.
Do you deskin your breast?
Well, I am now because you said you wanted to.
You don't like the skin.
It's true. I'll just leave it
I
on.
don't like. I don't mind the skin on the dark meat, but I don't really need it on the breast.
Mm.
This is actually really a race video about who can do this faster, silently between Katie and I. I don't know if you can smell the competition here, but I'm faster.
Whatever.
I'm just kidding. Where am I?
You also have the smaller knife.
You want to trade? That one's a sharper one by a lot.
I don't want to trade.
So what I've been doing for these is I'll just cut down that breastbone to start. I find this easier, so that you try to get as close to that as possible, and then you start cutting it on the other side. That's pretty good. It's good for, I got a little bit I can take off. So after Katie gets her side of the breast off, this is kind of what we're left with. We've got the neck, a little bit of waist, which is not waist because we like it in the soup. The carcass, of course. I probably take the skin off. I don't really like cooking with skin in the soup, so I'll take the skin off here. The Pope's nose is good for soup, and then yeah, that's once we break that up, that's a good soup in it itself. Like with all of the meat that comes off the bones and whatnot, it's perfect for chicken soup. So.
I'm cutting this part off. This is gross.
Too many people saying, "Oh, don't cut off the skin."
Don't come over for dinner then.
There's lots of skin on the dark meat. There. So there's the carcass that we're left with. We do a cut right here and a cut right there. Break it in half until we can cut it through. Stick that inside of there. There.
I don't think we want to go too much on the too many carcasses in a bag.
No, I think that was a mistake. Well, we can do one big soup with that, but in a big pot. But we need to do smaller bags. Do we have smaller ones? Oh yeah, they're large. So that's the meat from 13 chicken. And that's the soup from 13 chicken.
All right, I'm getting ready to shrink wrap the whole chickens. So I got some shrink bags from Amazon, and you just pretty much just put the chicken in. There's a straw that goes into the cavity of the bird, and then you put it into 180 to 190 degree water for 5 seconds, and the bag will just shrink around the chicken and all of the air will come out. And then there is a zip tie, and then it's just nicely wrapped. Can you push down the stick?
It's probably pretty good, eh? Do they suck tighter than that? I got it. I got it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. There we go. What are you working on?
Oh, it was in the water.
Huh?
It was in the water inside the bird. It was gone. I'm gonna risk my fingers.
It's probably good, eh?
I think so. That one worked the best.
We managed to get 13 chickens butchered. That's about as much as we can get in a session when it's just the two of us before we get too tired and over it. It's usually an early morning start, so we still have quite a few birds left to do, but hopefully you enjoyed this video and learned something. If you have any questions, you can always leave them down in the comments and we will try to get back to everyone. We'll see you in the next video.